So in number 12, it says to write each function in graphing form by completing the square. So right now this is in standard form, but we want to change it to graphing form, which is where we have like a binomial in parentheses being squared and then usually something else adding or subtracting to it. So we're going to do the completing the square process. So the way that I start this is I'm going to just kind of rewrite this. The y I'm going to write, and then I'm going to leave a little space after it because I know I'm probably going to have to add or subtract something to it. And then I'll put my equal sign, and then I'm going to make a generic rectangle, or actually it's going to be a generic square since I'm doing completing the square. And this is different from factoring, so I'm not going to use a diamond. It's just my generic square. I'm still, like normal, going to put my x squared term here. Now my units, my 11, normally we put units in this upper right box. I am going to do that, but I'm going to put the 11 there just kind of little at the top. And then what you do with completing the square is you take your x term, so this 6x, and you evenly split that between these two boxes. So 6x, if I evenly split it up into two parts, each of them would be 3x. So I have a 3x in each of those spots. Then I'm going to figure out the outside of my rectangle. So let's see. If this is x squared, that's going to have to be x times x. And then for this to be 3x, that would have to be a 3. That also has to be a 3. So now that I know these are 3's out here, I know what I need to have here to make this a square is 3 times 3, which is 9. So I need a 9 here. But what I have in the problem is 11. So I actually have too many units. I only want 9, but I have 11. So to fix that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take away 2 units so that I'll get the 9, which is the number that I need. Now, I can do that. I can put that minus 2 in there to make the 11 become the 9. I just have to do the same thing on the left side to keep the equation equal. So since I did minus 2 here, I just have to also do minus 2 over here with the y. Now, I'm just going to kind of rewrite everything. So the y minus 2 is still what I have on the left side. On the right side, I'm now going to write this in factored form as a product. And both factors are x plus 3. So I can actually just write x plus 3 squared because we're completing a square. They're always going to be the same factor like that when we're doing this. And then last step is just to get y by itself. So I don't want that minus 2 with the y, so I'm going to add it to each side. So then I just have y on the left. On the right, I can't add the 2 to the 3 that's in the parentheses because it's getting squared with the x, so I just separately put the plus 2 after. And then that's my equation in graphing form. So now I'm going to do that same process with this one. So I'm going to have my y, leave a little space to add or subtract something, set up my generic square, put in my x squared. I have 30 units, which I'm going to write kind of little up here. And then I'm going to take my x term, my 11x, and evenly split it between these two boxes. I can do that even though 11's an odd number. I'm just going to have to use decimals. So half of 11 is 5.5 or 5.5x. When we're doing factoring, we don't use decimals, but with completing the square, you're allowed to have decimals if you need to when you split your x term in half. And then I'll fill in what my outside pieces would be. Sorry, that's my dog. Okay, so then I'm going to multiply 5.5 by 5.5. Let me see real quick what that is. And that is 30.25. So right here, I need a 30.25. Okay, so what I have is 30. What I need is 30.25. I'm really close. I just need to add a 0.25 to get the right number. And so since I'm adding 0.25 here, I just have to also add 0.25 over on the left side. And then I'm going to rewrite. So y plus 0.25. This I'm going to write as a product, as its factors. So I got x plus 5.5 squared And then I just want to get y by itself. So I'm going to subtract that 0.25 from each side. And that gives me my equation in graphing form.